Hey yo, what it div, y'all? Let's get right into it. Today, I want to show you guys how to craft the wand that I'm using on my Hexblast character currently. Maybe it'll pop up on the screen or something. But we are using a really nice +2 wand. On the suffixes aren't finished. I can show you how to finish the suffixes in here. It's just way more money than it's worth for me at this point on the character, considering I am destroying Sanctum anyways, and the damage increase from finishing it is just not high enough to justify the divine cost, especially because I'm looking at a reroll. But I want to show you, how to make it. Make sure to give you guys the tips on how to, save yourself some money, cut some corn, not necessarily cut corners, but like actually just saving yourself money in making the wand, so that you don't have to pay for the extremely overpriced weapons that I'm seeing out there. Like I'm selling one of my old ones for way too much, honestly, because of the fact that this build is way too popular, and therefore people are playing it left, right, and center and paying a lot of money for things that you could craft yourself. And I imagine that's why you're on this video. You want to learn how to craft it yourself. So that's what I'm here to show you. If you find this particularly helpful, hey, look, like, comment, subscribe, helps the video out, but both helps me out, but gets the video out to more people, because that's really the point of this video, is just to help you guys, everybody watching it, to craft their weapons, within a reasonable price range. Also, you have your sub with the notifications on. It'll help you out, see when I post more stuff, right? All right, so let's go. The main thing of note is that we are crafting on an accumulator wand, because that's what I use in my POB for this character. Now, you can do this with a variety of wands. The 3 wands I recommend are accumulator, prophecy, and omen wands. Accumulator wand being the base that I use because I like the endurance charge generation from it. It is entirely irrelevant in Sanctum. So in Sanctum, prophecy or omen, but if you were like looking at 217s, accumulator is incredible because it doesn't make you have the upkeep of pressing enduring cry anymore in order to get your charges. Even if the charges do last forever, I just don't like pressing the extra button if I don't have to. And so why not, right? But this is absolutely, the option that you make. The important thing is, no matter which base you choose, item level 82 is the critical mark, right? You have to be item level 82 on this base to make it substantially cheaper and easier to roll. And I really do mean substantially. And we'll get into that in a second. I do want to explain the difference between omen and prophecy, because you might be wondering why I mentioned 2 bases that are not heist bases. It has to do with the int requirement. They provide you with the same exact base crit of 10%. And the difference in them is in their percent spell damage implicit. You get about 9% more increased spell damage from using a prophecy wand instead of an omen wand, but the int requirement is 245. So if your character cannot sustain an int requirement that high, omen wand lets you cut a very tiny portion of the damage, right? It's about 20 quality on a given support gem worth of damage in exchange for not needing an entire int suffix to like account for it. I have int on my character to support accumulator, obviously, because I'm using accumulator in my POB, but that's just a note for you there. The other thing I talked about is the I-82 importance, and the best way to show you this is to click on chaos on this site, and we look here. There are 2 chaos prefixes. This is very relevant. +1 chaos and flat chaos. Now, you'll see that this is I-83, though, if to hit flat chaos. So, if I just change the item level here to 82, now it's not showing anymore because it can't roll at this item level. And so we only have +1 chaos as a prefix. This is very important, because it means anytime we slam on a chaos prefix, on chaos, it will guaranteed be +1 chaos. That's very, very important to how this craft works. So I wanted to make sure you understood that. Then, how are we going to actually do the craft? Very quickly, I will show you how you calculate these things. Just right, like I can tell you outright what it is. I want you to see how you get here. I think it's, teach a man to fish, all that. You can pick the mods you want. In traditional times, it's always you're looking to hit this +2, and then you compute. And the computation gives you a 12 attempts on this 3 fossil combination here to hit hit +2 just outright. This is a very nice chance to hit it. Now, an alternative optimization, and one that I actually recommend because of the way we are going to be doing some of the other steps, and part of why the +1 chaos thing was so important, is that you can instead say focus on like T3 spell damage. And if you run the calculation, I believe it is the same thing, like actually the exact same combination. Yeah, like it still wants you to use the same combination. You're just less likely to hit good spell damage. But either way, we now know that the combination we're looking to play with is corroded metallic shuddering. So back over to the emulator. We just get to spamming, right? Corroded metallic shuddering. And so you're hitting this And you're looking for +1 all. +1 all is the main thing you need to see in order to turn this into a +2. Because then, like for example here, just like to quickly demonstrate, if I add remove chaos, so all chaos, note, this is 17,500 yellow juice and a sacred life force. So it's about 2.5 div at the time of recording this video. This could be up, this could be down by the time you're looking at this, so keep that in mind. But this is 2.5 div to click the button and switch something into +1 chaos. Like literally just like that, guaranteed every time turns into +1 chaos. It just removes a random thing on the way through, right? So back to fossiling real quick, just to like show you what I mean. We go. Okay, plus what in the world? Oh my god, look at that. +1 all in T2 spell damage. That's like the best we could roll on this 82 base here. So, you know, if you hit luck like this, fuck you. But if you hit like this, I mean, we're in fantastic position. The only thing is we now have to gamble because we cannot protect this. Let me show you what I mean. If we didn't have this cast speed here, you could go, cannot be changed, right? Prefixes cannot be changed. And then we could do our odd chaos and guarantee that we get our triple prefixes just right. We can't actually protect this though because of the full prefixes, right? Like we unfortunately have, full suffixes. We have full suffixes, so we gamble, and I just gamble with the AUG, like straight up. Like why not? Just, you're gonna have to gamble anyways. I am a full-time gambler. If you are feeling unsafe, I will let you know you can just annul and then craft prefixes cannot be changed from there and do it. But you know, I'm down to play the odds a little bit to save myself some money in the process. So, chaos. We lost the spell damage. This is still perfectly fine though. The only problem now is that we are in fact out a what do you call it? We are still full suffixes locked, so you'd actually have to like annul and craft from here. And let me show you very quickly. This is a completely fine weapon. Like you won't be losing too much sleep over this. You can go from here if you wanted to. A veiled orb is a perfectly viable option, but I would prefer not to do it because I don't want to have to deal with the suffixes. I would rather just scour immediately. I'm messing up my typing. We practiced this beforehand, guys, and it's just acting like I don't know what I'm doing all of a sudden. Prefixes can't be changed. Then you get veiled orb here. We have a veiled suffix, which means that you block damage per charge. This is always very important. Just make sure you block something that you don't want to see. And now that's inspect element. That's crazy. Unveil. These unveils all suck. This is kind of why I don't love the veiled orb option. But you could keep doing this over and over if you wanted to until you got a hit that works. Double damage while focus technically works. Then we uncraft this. I realized I messed up and actually put on the veiled version. So that's the crafted version, but that was supposed to be a crafted version. Then you can multi-mod on spell damage and crit chance, and this is a good enough wand, right? Like this is a perfectly fine wand, perfectly strong. Like let me crafted crit. Show me where the crit chance is. Thank you very much. Where's the crit chance? There it is. Crit chance. Prefixes from the bench down here. Spell damage. And like that's your wand. It's done. I personally don't like double damage focus, but like, hey, that's what we unveiled. This is a completely done wand. You can also, you know, if we go back a couple steps here, we're at +2. Instead of going for veiled, you could just go, you know what? I'm gonna reforge. Yeah, reforge crit. Now, if you're gonna reforge crit, here's my recommendation. Don't, no, really stop. But you can reforge crit, and you'll see that it can fill up the item and make it irreversible. What you could do if you were feeling like a baller on this is that you could multi-mod instead. Go crafted. Oop. Sorry about that. You could go crafted. And then put both prefixes and suffixes cannot be changed on here. This is kind of expensive though, so I wouldn't personally do it, but like just showing you a thing you could do. And then reforge crit to make it simulate an AUG. Although at that point I would just AUG because this is really expensive. This is really expensive, but it's just something weird in case you don't have the life force. So say you're in SF, you have all the divines in a row from Sanctum, no fucking life force. This is an option. before just crit to guarantee on to get there, but then you have to clear it off and all that stuff. Alternatively, again, you could just go back to here. If you wanted to, you could aug crit instead to not have it brick, but you could still just end up like not hitting what you want. So, you know, do that at your own risk. This is very good. But all sorts of options there. A handful of ways. I want to go back to the state really quickly that we had. We had a state where we actually had the stuff I wanted to see. Yeah, here we go. Let me show you how this is supposed to look if it actually hits the ideal stuff. I did it again. Why? Let me keep the spell damage. There we go. Okay, we keep the spell damage. Now we have our 3 prefixes done. This is like, quote, the optimal state, especially this one in particular. This is about as good as it gets in this version. And so then you can scour off the prefixes. And you can do a couple things here. A couple different ways to go about it. One, there is the classic meta modding of the year where you block an attribute through, say, like, what do you call it? Like, you can block a couple of stats through something like this here, where you put on the hybrid mod, craft it on very quickly, and then slam remove. I don't love this option. It's kind of expensive, kind of long and time consuming. From this crafted point, you could just multi-mod, crit, and either throwing speed or crit multi and be done. That's also an option. You can also, from this point, veiled chaos it and hope for a better suffix, right? Like, you know, maybe not if the prefixes are just right. It will hit exactly what we want to see. Prefixes cannot be changed. Veiled orb. We had a suffix. Remember, make sure you always block. You don't want to unveil before blocking just to give yourself the best chance of seeing something we want. Crit multi is perfectly fine. Double dimensional focus is okay-ish. Cast speed is kind of pointless. So this is fine here. Then we can craft and slam. Like, I would, you know, switch this craft over now to the accuracy craft that I was looking at earlier. I was talking about earlier. Same things, accuracy. And then you could slam here. We get hit T5 crit. That's kind of crazy. So then we could craft. Unfortunately, this crit roll is really low and I don't like it, but like you could just craft throwing speed or regular crit multi here and be done. You can also, from this step, instead of going for craft and slam, you can go for a aug crit here to really just like, if you want to really push the limit here, you know, you go aug crit. It hits spell crit chance. That's so close to what we want to see. It'll still cap our crit. It's just not in the pretty way that we wanted. But like, this is perfectly usable. Then you could either craft on base crit chance if you still need the base crit, or you could craft on what do you call it? I literally just had it up top of my head. Mine throwing speed here. Right, like we do just have mine throwing speed, and this is a finished weapon. You know, again, there's crit as an option. You could also then from here look at, you know, harvest enchants, or like, yeah, you can harvest enchant or runecraft, which runecrafts I use percent spell damage. It's just the best damage for my build. If you need base crit, like this wand needs base crit, I'd probably enchant this with a little bit of extra base crit. You can also do, instead of those crafts, haunted spirits if you're feeling rich, just for the literal movement speed and cast speed and random effect while you're in Sanctum. That's all it really does. It doesn't actually boost your damage all that much outside of potentially the random effect, but that's another thing you could do with the enchant, etc. Ways to finish it off. Anyways, this has been a lot. I just wanted to show you the different ways that you could get there. Again, quickly recapping, the most important things here: base, you know, choose the right base, either accumulator or one of the two 10% base crit wands based on your int. Make sure it is item level 82 so that we can do the aug chaos to get force on the +1 chaos spells, because I didn't really show you guys that, like, it is very reliable to just like hit +2 all or +2. Again, it's only supposed to take 12 clicks, but as you can see, I'm already 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, we're way over 12 already. I haven't seen it. So like, when I was crafting, I hit a roll that looked something like this. It was a little bit better on the spell damage, and I was just like, fuck it, gamble. And it hit, and that's how I got my wand. And that's why the 82 thing is important. But otherwise, yeah, there's the +2 that I was talking about, including a nice prefix, but you have to let null to open this up, right? So with the annul, unlucky. Anyways, that's everything I wanted to show you guys. Again, if you find this useful, you know, interact with the video, help people see it. Feel free to drop any questions in the comments, or, you know, to tell me that I'm fucking horrible at crafting. And if you want to connect with me more, Discord, Twitch, links in the description down below. I stream in the evenings, not every night, but a lot of nights. That's just kind of like the way it goes. And I'm pretty accessible in Discord. Anyways, I gotta go. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.